Hi, and welcome back to Stop Being Sold. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Brian. And in this video, we're discussing whether or not it's a good idea to use a 401k loan to pay off high interest credit card debt. And if you think it's right for you, we're going to walk you through the steps to make it happen. So, on the surface, a 401k loan looks like a great option. The interest rate on 401k loans are generally lower than credit card rates, especially right now. And since you're borrowing from yourself, you pay back the interest to you and not a bank. Also, unlike traditional loans, a 401k loan doesn't involve a credit check, making it a really great option for those with less than stellar credit. But, and here's the but, there are downsides that you need to consider before borrowing from a 401k.
You're absolutely right, Michelle. It can be tempting to access these funds to address high interest credit card debt, but it's essential to grasp the implications first. You may think you're elevating high interest debt, but should life throw you a curveball, it may cause even more financial strain.
Yeah.
I'm not saying taking out a 401k loan is a bad idea. It's just critical you know what you're signing up for.
Absolutely. So let's get to it then. Walk us through the downsides of using a 401k loan to pay off high interest debt.
The first one, Michelle, is what if there's a big life event that you did not foresee happening? Like you got laid off, and that's a big one. If you can't pay back the loan right away, you'll be subject to taxes on the outstanding balance and early withdrawal penalty of 10% if you're under 59 and a half, because this is now considered a distribution instead of that original loan.
Sure.
And if this happens, the amount withdrawn will be taxed as ordinary income. Also, there may be fees involved if you default.
So if you're over 59 and a half, there's no penalty if you can't replace the funds for whatever reason, correct?
Yes, that's correct. However, whether you're over or under 59 and a half, there's still tax implications to consider.
Okay.
Whether you default on the loan or if you're over 59 and a half, it's still considered a distribution and you'll be taxed as ordinary income.
Okay.
We have to remember that part of it. This can bump up your tax bracket, which means you'll have to pay more taxes.
Yeah, that's a huge thing about the taxes. So either way, let me just make sure I understand this. Whether you are under 59 and a half and you default, or you're over 59 and a half and it's considered a distribution, either way, both parties are taxed as ordinary income, which can then bump you up into the next tax bracket.
Exactly.
Okay. And so can you walk us through this? I've heard a lot about when you take out a 401k loan, you're also taxed twice.
Yeah, this goes both ways. People say, no, it isn't. Others say, yes, it is. Well, in all honesty, that is correct. And here's why. You're borrowing money that's contributed with pre-tax dollars, right? And repayments are made using after-tax dollars, including the interest that you pay yourself, which is also a tax law. Think about that one.
Okay.
But when you take out money for retirement, you're taxed on the distributions at your ordinary income tax rate. This means you're taxed twice. Once when you use after-tax dollars to pay off the loan and the interest on it, and again, when you withdraw those same dollars during retirement.
All right. So what other downsides do people need to be aware of?
The last one is that when you take a 401k loan, you're actually shrinking the dollars that work for you. The money you borrow won't be invested, potentially missing out on potential gains over time, which means you run the risk of having less income during retirement.
All right. So let's say that I'm crystal clear on the pros and the cons. What then?
Okay, first, let's go back to evaluating your financial situation. Calculate your total credit card debt, assess your current retirement savings, and know your disposable income. The key here, Michelle, is to make sure you're clear on what you do with the funds that you actually borrow. Mm-hmm. This isn't vacation time. No. It is focusing on eliminating that debt. Make sure the money you borrow will get you in a better position for the long haul and not just a short-term fix. Also, consider alternatives like debt consolidation loans, balance transfer credit cards, or debt repayment methods like the snowball or avalanche strategies.
Okay, so if I write out various scenarios, borrowing scenarios, and then I compare them, right? And if the math adds up, so to speak, and borrowing from my 401k looks like the best decision as opposed to debt consolidation or balance transfer, what have you, what are the steps that I need to take then?
Okay, great. And if you come to that decision where it does make sense for you to do this, here's what you do. Contact your 401k administrator to understand that loan process. Apply for the loan, keeping in mind the eligibility criteria and what the loan limitations are. Okay. Create a realistic repayment plan that fits your budget and monitor your progress and make adjustments as necessary. Remember, The goal is not just to relieve current debt stress, but also to secure your financial future.
Right. I think you said something earlier that really this is the key is make sure that this will put you in a better position for the long haul and not just a short-term fix.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
key. We're going to drop a link below to a video that we did on major 401k rule changes. Make sure you check that out because there's a lot of changes happening thanks to the Secure Act 2.0 this year. And also, they're making further changes, the IRS is. So go check that one out. Make sure
Yep.
you know if you're investing money in this, know what's happening with it. If you like the content of this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Brian and I put out videos on the daily to help you make the best financial decision for your future. All right, Brian, before we wrap this up, anything else you'd like to add?
We love 401k loans, in all honesty, folks. And we just want to make sure it's the right decision for you and think twice about it. So
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks so much, Brian, for this. And thanks to everyone who watched.
thanks, everyone. Have a great day.